There's a lot of reasons why I'm right, and they're all a waste of time. Especially when you look at it from the shoes of somebody with even basic mental clarity and even basic understanding of martial arts and morality. Basically, here I am, a man who's been cheated out of his rightful place to such a degree. His dad is obviously by far the most righteous person of his generation. I'm obviously by far the most righteous person in American history. So when we look at this thing, it is like, how could they miss it? How could martial artists lack the honor? How could the church lack the honor? How could females in one of the most populated countries in the world, the most populated state, lack the honor to see the good in this man, to see God in this man, and follow suit? There's no excuse. There's all kinds of mythology, and where history and mythology overlap, where the kind of genealogy, history, and mythology overlap. Okay. Well, it basically goes like this. The falcon is a symbol that is very important here. The Nazis used it. The Vikings used to trade falcons. The falcon is a symbol of Horus. And he has various forms, and Set took on that symbol to trick people about who's really Pharaoh, because it's a symbol of the archetype of Pharaoh, monarch, main-arch versus min-arch. Set and Min were the deities that the Scorpion King's followers followed. Scorpion having poison, right? Chemistry, having chemistry, being love-struck, poisoning people. Poise on, Satan, Set on being Heliopolis, Ra's cult center, and Horus's true form is son of Ra in the falcon form. It's very simple. I'll put on the screen the warrior tribes that followed the pharaohs, especially the falcon tribes. There was more than one. Okay, just like now, there's more than one argument. So who is the true form of Horus? It's obvious. This is an Igbo form. Obi, the Kiro Obi. Obi isn't a Viking word meaning king. It is Igbo meaning king. It is Igbo backwards. Interchangeable vowels, vowel to L. When you put the A, it's Abba. Their own wordplay in English. And remember Europe, right? The royal family of England, right? They're Vikings, they're English, and so on and so forth. Okay, their own wordplay says the Igbo's the true king. It's done, okay? But here we have a world where people are so stupid that it is not enough for you to be in the true spirit of God while they're acting like fucking bitches. It's not enough for you to be from a long line of righteous people while they're from a long line of conformists and evil. They refuse to have that common sense. Martial arts hone their senses. They don't have common sense. Can you truly understand that? Can you truly understand how I'm in a position where it is divinely important for me to chastise them for their mimicking, their pantomime, their kind of mime bitch shit. Okay, they're acting, they're kind of Greco-Roman, gender-neutral thong, Greek tragedy bitch shit. Can you not see that? Their sex cult, pedophile, Crowley bitch shit. Can you not see that? The contrast between me and them. Conspiracy theorists are usually some weirdos who work for them. Okay, then there's some guys who mean better, but they can't get over their cultural barriers and complexes, and they always tell in a way that cheats me out of my rightful place. They're bitches. They don't have that true martial art honor. Other martial artists refuse to concede that I'm the top and to obey me. Okay, they have subtly conceded by their actions and by hiding hiding like bitches under their blankets and shivering and acting like sissies and resorting to wrestling and things that have nothing to do with true martial arts. They have conceded my point. To make it about knitting, to make it about wrestling, to make it about stretching, to make it about the form of one ethnic group or one race's or one family's martial art is conceding that you're inferior. Think about it. They've conceded my point with their actions times infinity. So let us look at Bob Marley, for example. I literally live in a country where people will say he's quoting a pothead, where marijuana is legal, and quite a few successful people, including the CEO, I believe it is, of Tesla Motors, that makes this popular car that it brags zero emissions, smokes marijuana. But yet they would turn around with a pink thong on and say he's quoting Bob Marley, a famous guy in a part of the movement that helped legalize this. Okay. So let's think about this now. Bob Marley, okay? David and Goliath. His argument is tribal heavy. If I were also remember, okay, I don't know what I said already. I forgot what I said, but I'll write down this. The Ethiopian, right? You can see an Ethiopian that looks dead on, almost exactly like one of my family members. When you see someone who looks white, has blonde hair and blue-eyed, right? It's safe to say that he's related to the white guys with blonde hair and blue-eyed. And so it is with the Ethiopian look. I'll prove definitively with one picture that the Ethiopian tribe connects to the Igbo tribe. Now now when we look at tribes, like the 12 tribes of Israel, of the Ethiopian, Amos 9:7, aren't you the same as to me as the Ethiopians? Moses' Cushite wife. Then we look at the Ethiopian tribes split up. It'll be obvious that Obi takes on new meaning. Yes, It is Ebo we're talking about. Ebo is the bell that rings the loudest. Biafra, Biafra, the sun. Malachi, the sun in righteousness. There once was a country, the sun. Okay, the sun on Bob Marley's one of his albums. He's standing like this with his dreadlocks out there. There's a sun behind him. Sunday, and on and on and on. Okay, sol meaning sun in Latin, a Latin-based language. Spanish. Bob Marley talks about the heart of hearts, the heart of Africa. The heart of Africa is Eri, Era, where we get the word Haru, Horus. Okay, so basically this nation spread out. See, well, what? That's not fair to Ethiopia. What about Eritreans? They used to be part of Ethiopia. They spread out. What about the Ethiopian Americans? What about Andromeda, who was saved by Perseus? Okay, this is an example of a patriarchal European line taking an Ethiopian woman who they quote-unquote saved, whose name means ruler of men. They got on some female is in charge kind of bitch shit, with all due respect. That's what they got on. Her name means ruler of men. Her marriage to Perseus symbolizes that a gender-neutral society, if not a female Gaia energy, gay-I energy society. And there's a long history of Cretan and Athenian pederasty, pedophilia, in this organized ritual manner that was customary. Okay, there's a long history of Greek homosexuality. In the Greek plays themselves, men would play women and vice versa. There's no way around this argument. Okay, their argument is a female's argument. The Bible's argument and the warrior's argument is a patriarchal line. How could any of you miss that for one moment, especially when it's been pointed out? So she was the daughter of King Cephas, saved by Perseus, or some kind of kraken or sea monster. Bob Marley in his song Iron Lion Zion. Remember, Zion is the city of David, which he took in martial art or warrior, divinely inspired combat. And he called the opposition lame and blind. Compared to me, Bob Marley is lame and blind. He's smoking a bunch of weed. Okay? He's not a martial artist. Compared to me, he's lame and blind, ironically. In the story of City of David, they said, you're too lame and blind to take the city. He took it and said, whoever, from now on, we're going to refer to those people who said that as lame and blind, basically, in a nutshell. All right. So he says, so they want to be the star, so they're fighting tribal war. Did he then say, this is wrong? No. He said, I'm gonna be iron like a lion in Zion. Now stop. Did Bob Marley walk in the true spirit of God? No. What was he doing? He was controlling the opposition for this up-and-coming liberal movement, the rainbow movement. I'm a rainbow too. Yeah, that's what he was doing. Okay? He was telling the truth and the lie. Part of his lie was that Haile Selassie was Jesus come back or something like that. Preposterous. This guy himself denied it. So obviously he's telling the truth and lies. Okay? He's mixing them together, the checkered floor of masonry. Okay? They want to be the star, so they're fighting tribes. So the iron armor? No. Natural. The lion doesn't have iron armor on. If you want to do martial art combat, it's the leopard, is the lion on the standard. All right. I'll put that at the end of the, I'm already out of time now if I'm going to put these pictures at the end. So anyway, Amos 9:7, Nahum 3, 1 Samuel 17 through 19 talks about the battle with David and Goliath. I've gone over this story a couple of times already. And it proves my point definitively. Goliath's yelling about his gods, David's yelling about the God of Israel, and they clash. If there's a disagreement with the descendants of the Jews, okay, and they're Ethiopian, Amos 9:7, they're Ethiopian. Like, and I'll put another picture at the end that shows you that Eos is a goddess of the dawn that looks like the modern Ethiopian Jew, okay? And her son is Memnon, who looks like a black Ethiopian. So it connects these people together. So if any white or black Ethiopian, or any Ethiopian in the world, or any Israelite or Judah in the world, any of these people in the world wants to prove who is the Son of God, okay, who is the true spiritual leader, and they ignore this sparring argument when Jesus himself said he came to bring a sword, okay, they have automatically lost. Okay, this argument is being made by the most proficient martial artists on the planet. How could you miss that? Unless you are a snake viper trying to cover it up. And of course, most of you don't know that many people have conceded my point. They just refuse to obey God through me. They have conceded that God has chosen me, and I'll leave that alone. Okay, they like to do it subtly. I'll leave it alone. 1 Samuel 17 through 19. Okay, Talks about Saul. David's first wife is Saul's daughter, Michal. 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 Okay, or whatever they say. Okay. Now remember, the idea is important. I don't need all the details. You see what the fuck I'm saying? This is the elephant in the room. Okay? The elephant in the room isn't the tree of knowledge. It's the tree of life. It's the martial arts spirit of life, right? Horus, even in the Roman depiction, is spearing the crocodile as he rides a horse in the Roman tradition. Horus, in the later stories in Egypt, is a falcon-headed spear in one of these stories. He's fighting with the descendants of Set up and down the Nile. We can go on and on. Horus is a warrior god. He's the avenger, the Skywalker. Okay? He's a war god, a sky god, a sun god, so to speak. Okay. So also we get Tror, right, in Snorri Sturluson's, where we get the 13th century poems, or Pors Edda, or whatever it's called, okay? He talks about hell, Hel. Why do Christians call it hell? Why is Hades in Revelations as a place, okay? Because this overlaps with Greco-Roman mythology, and the mythologies of Europe, Norse mythology, and this is an African system that's spread across the world. It's painfully obvious. Who are the Native Americans? They are Africans over thousands of years, migrated out, and then crossed ice bridges and island hopped to get to America. It's painful. They've been some of them dressing up like hawks and dancing around a fire. It's painfully obvious. They're all reacting to the martial art order, the heart of hearts, the king of kings. If you deal in nature, are you going to overlook this thing? That's like, look, I deal in nature, but I refuse to admit a roaring lion exists, and he eats you. And so it is in the spiritual world. You refuse to obey God through his chosen son, the King of Kings. Okay? You are done. Okay? You can get away with acting like a bitch and be like, there's a lot of us, we have technology, You can act like a bitch, but eventually you're going to croak, and you're going to answer to the God that chose me. Doesn't take a genius to see that. Is this love? Bob Marley said. Where is the love to be found in concrete jungle? If this guy who you look up to as a symbol of love, and let's all be reggae. Oh, come on. He's asking where the love is found. He says, I'm looking for happiness. He doesn't know where it is. Wake the fuck up. Bob Marley does not know love. He does not know happiness. I know love. God is love, and I know he doesn't. Okay? He's still calling God Jah. He doesn't know God's name, and he doesn't know love. Only I know love. Only I have part of being the top martial arts is you know love. In truth, and of course it ends with me, because everyone's sitting there snaking me like, nah, we refuse to obey you. We're above you, chicken shit, ninny ass bitches. They may as well be knitting, saying, I can knit, look what I knitted. I'm how important he is. Look at me. I'm in the spot. Look at me. They're acting like little kids. Cowards. They don't know love. It's right there in the word cow. Cowards. Baal, the bull. Balat, the female bull. Lady of Byblos. Cowards. Pacifists. When God tells them to go to war. Cowards. No roundabout bitch shit. What is this about? The alpha bout. It's even called a ring when people compete in the Western way. A ring, like a marriage ring, martial arts, marital arts. Are you fucking stupid? When the top martial artist is shunned. Nobody has love. Nobody's in reality. How could they be? How could you be a woman looking for love? I'm looking for love. And you're shunning this guy. For the pedophile energy of people that refuse to obey God. And he's the King of Kings. God is like, this is your commanding general. This is your chief of chiefs. He gives you orders on my behalf. And when you die, you're like, here I am. He's like, I sent you a commanding officer and you refuse to obey him. What the fuck do you think happens to you?